Greetings, it's Ian from RTL here. Welcome to another Saturday with Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Ian, and how are you on this lovely sunny day?
We've had the sun for about 5 minutes and it's been raining on and off. I've literally just walked in with Rocky
I'm
because
sure.
it was rain and it was a thing, and I went, "Oh, right, we'll do it." We've been out, but it's gone grey again.
Well, that's really
Anyway,
nice.
we have got it's two requests that we've thrown together. Someone said instrumental singles and songs, so what we've done, we've combined them.
Yes.
Yes, which makes sense.
Glad you said that, because if you said instrumental singles, I would have to stop right now because a lot of these were not singles.
Yeah, and there's no lyrics in these, so you're not going to make the boo-boo.
No lyrics. Well, right, no words. Put it that way. You can have ahs, oohs, and all the
Who's
rest of it.
not? Yeah, they all count, but no, hello, that doesn't count, or a bit of speech doesn't count. It's got to be
Right.
oohs, ahs, and
All right, no problem.
and I've left another one up that because it had some words in it, so I couldn't have it, and that was
Couldn't
Dark
put.
Side of the Moon. I've got mental, you know, the one Richard done that piano bit, and I can't remember, but that
Any color you like.
no, the one on Great Gig in the
Great.
Sky. I didn't put that one in because it's got spoken word. Anyway, usual thing. Richard will go first. I will go second, and we both got 6 bubbling unders today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my number 10 was a hit single in 1974, and it got to number 20. And it's a real funky groove. And it's the Commodores' Machine Gun, which is completely different to their Three Times a Lady and Oh No and things like that. And it's just a really, really good funky track. The old style Commodores. I absolutely love it. No words on it at all, and it's my number 10. Love it. It's not my type of music, but that track in particular, I absolutely adore.
That's one of my favourite bits of music by the Commodores. I think it has got that.
It's really good. It's so, it really draws you in. Really draws you
Yeah,
in.
you can't not nod your head, stamp your feet, whatever you're
Yep.
doing with that song, you have to do that. That's a great choice. I had totally forgotten about that one, but that is a fantastic choice. Okay, my number 10 goes back to 1959. Written by Henry Mancini, but it was made famous by Dwayne Eddy with his Gretsch and his Peter Gunn.
Yeah, that's good. It is.
I've got quite a few versions of it, and I've even got the one that he did with the Art of Noise, and that's great. But I've picked today his original one from 1959. It was made for the Gretsch, that song.
Yeah. No, that's a good choice. I actually have a Henry Mancini composition in my bubbling unders, which
Oh,
which I'm sure you will not like, but you never know. Well, my number 9 is an album track from Paul McCartney on his McCartney 2 album. Now, he's had a couple of instrumentals on that, and I like the both of them. But the one I really like is Front Parlour, which I think it opens side 2 of the album. And it's all synthesizer, it's all, electronics, it's, him playing about. But it has got one of the catchiest sort of melodies you could find. I absolutely love it. And it's got a real nice sort of groovy beat to it as well, with a really catchy melody on top of it. And I think it's brilliant. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite track off that album. Little plain instrumental, Front Parlour, gets my number 9.
good choice. It is a good track on that album, and I enjoyed that one as well. Okay, my number 9 comes from the 60s. 1962 was a number 1 hit for the Shadows, and it's The Beautiful, Wonderful.
Yes, very, very good. Very
I
good.
like Mike Oldfield's, but the original is just.
It's always hard to beat the original.
Yeah.
So it is.
I think Norrie Palmer's strings are wonderful on that. The string arrangement that he did for that is lovely. And you've got some nice delicate playing from Hank,
Mhm.
gentle playing, and it's wonderful to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, he's a fantastic guitarist. He has that. I say he uses a Fender guitar, doesn't he?
Fender Strat.
Strat. What's the other one? Fender
Oh, go Telecaster.
Telecaster. Yeah. No, very, very good. And I do like Mike Oldfield's version as well. Well, my number 8, I'm sort of cheating a little bit here because it's 2 songs. It's actually 2 versions of the same song. And it's by Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. And the song is Sidetrack, or Sidetrack 1 and Sidetrack 2. Now, Sidetrack 1 was a band instrumental, so it's your normal guitar, keyboards, bass, drums, etc. But Sidetrack 2 was the orchestrated version. Now, the orchestrated version got on his album Love's a Prima Donna as the opener to side 2. But the Sidetrack 1, the band version, got on as the B-side to the single Love's a Prima Donna, and it wasn't on the album. I would have liked the both of them to have opened, closed the album, but not to be. But it's just a magnificent piece of work, so it is, especially the orchestrated version. It sounds like really good, classical music. It's accessible, really, really nice, beautiful melody, and either one, I love the both of them. Gets my number 8.
Yeah, the number 2, it could have come straight off any film score.
It could have, it really could have, without a doubt.
It's got that dramatic feel to it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It fit into a dramatic scene in a film, and it is a very good choice. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Okay, I'm staying with the 60s again. Now, this is a version of a song that was written for the violin. And it's the Spotniks from 1961, got to number 29. And it's their version of the Orange Blossom Special.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of overdubs on that and speeding up, because I've actually met at a wedding the guy that worked for Oriole Records when they were recording that. And there's a lot of speeded up to get that effect. But it's just, and that was very clever for 1961, what they did to that. I think they do a fabulous version of it.
I haven't heard it. I do know, obviously, Johnny Cash's version. So I do like the song. So I must, whenever you put your videos up, I must give it a listen.
Yeah, it's a fantastic version.
Good stuff. And my number 7, I don't actually think I have any from the 60s here at all. My number 7 is from The Police, not written by Sting, written by Andy Summers. And it's Behind My Camel, the second track on side 2 of Zenyatta Mandata. And I think Sting hated that track. He didn't even want to play on it. But I think it's brilliant. And Andy Summers' guitar work on it is absolutely magnificent. Such a good guitarist. Yes, it does seem a little bit out of place on the album, but I still think it works so well. And when I first heard it, I wasn't keen. But you see, after repeated listens, it really grows on you. And it is one of my favorite tracks off that album. So that's Behind My Camel, the second track off Zenyatta Mandata. It's my number 7.
I love that track. It proves that Andy is a very, very good guitarist and a great composer. And I think there was a bit of ego trip from Sting on that one.
I think so. I mean, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he threw his toys out the thing because he didn't want it on the album. I've heard an interview with Andy saying that he had to really fight to get that track on the album.
Yeah. But it's a shame. I'm glad they got it on because I think it's a highlight of side 2. I really do.
Yeah, one of the best tracks on that side. Okay, my number 7 is from the Electric Light Orchestra. It was a single, but it didn't chart. And it's The Wonderful Daybreaker.
All right.
Richard Tandy's keyboard work in that is just wonderful. His little rolling down the keyboard sounds, and then you've got Mick on adding a little bit of that violin to give it that extra depth. It's just a great track, and the best version of that is on their live album. That is the best. The opening track of that live album Brilliant, absolutely brilliant track.
Do you not think it's a little bit influenced by, is it One of These Days or One of Those Days, the Pink Floyd track from Metal?
One of these days, yeah.
I think the two of them are actually quite similar. I like both of them, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good choice.
I just love that track.
ELO may feature in my bubbling unders. You never know. Right, number 6, I'm going to set you a little quiz. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This was a single in 1983. It got to number 17 in March 1983. But in June 1983, Marillion got to number 16 with the song of the same title. Not the same song, but the same title. Do you know what that title is?
Yes. It's
What?
Garden Party by Mezza Forte.
Correct. Well done, Ian. I love it. It is. I shouldn't love it because it's like jazz funk type stuff, and it's not my thing. But I remember when that came out, and I was addicted to that track. It's so summery. It came out around the springtime. I absolutely loved it. Bought the single. Really, really love it. Love the horns in it. It's such a great track to get up and then actually dance to. And I think over in Northern Ireland, Dave will be able to say here, one of the radio stations uses that or used it for quite a while as their opener to the radio station, as it really was, or something like that. But absolutely love it. Garden Party by Mezzo Forte, my number 6.
Yeah, I remember when I said, "Can I have Garden Party?" And this is what Mezza Forte. I went, "No, Marillion." But no, I do like it as well. I mean, I like a bit of that jazz sound and then horns, and I love horns on records. I think they're just super. Yeah, what a great choice again. There's some really good ones coming out today. Okay, my number 6. I was in a quandary. Now, do I pick the original version or do I pick the cover version? So I've actually gone with the cover version, although one member of both bands played on it, and that's Francis Monkman. And the track is Vivaldi, written by Darrell Way of Curved Air. I love the version, but the version that Sky did on Sky 2 is just fantastic. Tristan Fry's drums on it. Then you get a great bass. That bass from Herbie Flowers is just amazing. And Kevin Peake was a fine guitarist. And that's why I picked that one, because I just think it's got a little bit more oomph behind it.
I must give it a listen. I think I might have the Sky 2 album because I remember buying a couple of Sky albums out of the charity shop for about 50p each, but I sort of filed them away, so I must check.
Sky 2's the one with the orange cover, like a desert.
Oh, I don't think I have. I think it's 1 and 3 I have. Are they both kind of blue covers?
Yeah, blue covers. Yeah, Sky 2's a double album as well.
Oh, right, okay. Well, my number 5 was a single in Japan, and I showed you a copy of it for 1980 whenever I was on your live stream, but it was also the B-side of Up the Hill Backwards in 1981, and it's called Crystal Japan by David Bowie. Now, I could have picked a whole load of Bowie instrumentals, and but I thought I would go for this one because it is the most immediate one, even though the other ones I love as well. And it's a beautiful, beautiful track. It was originally slated to be put on as the last track on Scary Monsters, which I don't think it would fit because Scary Monsters is actually quite an aggressive album and there's a lot of guitars and it's actually quite heavy in places. This is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. And I guess my number 5, as I say, it was a single in Japan. It was used to promote water, drinking water, like bottles of water to drink in Japan. But it's a great little number. So number 5, Crystal Japan, David Bowie.
I can't add to it. It's a great little bit of music. I could do a whole top 10 of David Bowie instrumentals. Easy peasy, because they are so good.
Yeah,
even on the bad albums, some of them bad albums, it's the instrumentals that carry them.
There is actually a compilation of his instrumentals called All Saints, on
Ooh.
CD, which I did a video last week. I'm doing another one today, actually, on albums I would love on vinyl, and that was one of them because it's beautiful music just to relax to. Really, really good.
Oh, I'll have a look out for that. Might give that one up. Okay, my number 5. We couldn't have an instrumental top 10 without Mike Oldfield.
Okay.
And I've gone for his 1977 single and his version of the William Tell Overture.
Okay. So do I. So do I.
I love that bit in the middle when he goes diddle 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 and you get the little Irish drum in the background on it. It's just, and the bells. It's just a really quirky version of it. I mean, I love Rossini's William Tell Overture, full stop. I think it's a magnificent piece of music. But Mike Oldfield was just fantastic on that.
Well, you should have this video up quite quickly then, because you don't have to change the little picture, because my number 4 is Mike Oldfield's William Tell Overture. And as you said, it's absolutely brilliant. The guitar work, if you actually watch the video, and he's a fantastic guitarist. And I really do love the little bells, everything about it, absolutely love. And it does sound a little bit as if you should get your knotted hankies out and start doing your Morris dancing to it, but it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, my number 4 is from a film. It's a soundtrack done by Vangelis. It came out in 1982, and it's one of my favourite sci-fi movies of all time, from 1982, and it is Blade Runner: The End Titles. What's that? I remember going to see Iron Maiden on there Somewhere in Time tour. Now, Steve Harris is a big Blade Runner fan, and that album cover is very based, and they come out to that piece of music. Oh, with this, you got like a scene from the streets of Tokyo in Blade Runner. You got all the lights going. It was just fantastic, and one of the best bits of that, one of the best openings Iron Maiden done. I just love that music. It's so eerie. It's so daunting, and it just captures the last scenes of that film as well. Ties it all up. Wonderful piece of music.
Oh, good choice. My number 3 is by the Stranglers, and it's Waltz in Black, the opening track of the Gospel According to the Men in Black. It's eerie, it's catchy, you've got these giggles and laughs through it. It's absolutely brilliant. And it wasn't a single, but it did get on the singles collection ahead of the 2 singles when that album came out in 82. But I always loved it. And whenever I saw the Stranglers, must be 5 years ago now, they played it. They opened up with it. Absolutely fantastic track. Love it. It's my number 3.
Yeah, I love that track as well. I think it's just, there's something about it. It's quirky. And the other thing was, it was used for Keith Floyd. Chef is his theme tune, and I think that's when it became even more popular.
Yeah, that's probably why I put on the hits album.
Yeah, and I didn't put that one in because I knew that you would. It came to mind. I thought, no, Richard will put that one in, so I didn't bother. But I do love it. I must admit, I really love it. Okay, my number 3 is from 1977. Got to number 2 in the chart, and it's a bit of a disco-y type thing, and it's Magic Fly by Space.
Do you know what? I don't know that. I don't know that. It's a number 2 hit, and I don't know it. I must know it. I must know it.
I think if you hear it, it's one of them tracks you'll hear and go, oh, I know it.
Yeah. But the name and the band, just, no, nothing there.
They had Space in the video.
I'll definitely be watching or going onto your list. No, I'll do it as soon as we're off here, actually. But I can't comment on it because I don't know it.
Oh, it's disco-y, quite disco-y. Yeah, great song.
Well, my number 2 is boring because I have to have it in, and it is Vangelis again, and it's Chariots of Fire, because I think it's just a beautiful piece. It's the titles, and got to number 12 here in 81. And I loved it. I've always loved it. I love the fact that they use it in the 2012 Olympics as well with Mr. Bean. It was so funny. But it's just a gorgeous piece of music. It really is. And I can't say anything more about it. It's just brilliant. Number two.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vangelis did write some great soundtracks.
Mm-hmm.
One of my other favourites he did was the music to the film The Bounty with Anthony Hopkins in and Mel Gibson. That was that soundtrack is brilliant as well. What a great choice! It's a wonderful piece of music, and it's the way he captures when they're running down the beach. It's just magical. Okay, my number two. Well, you could again. I couldn't do this without having some Jean-Michel Jarre in.
Okay.
Again, 1977, number 4 in the charts. It's my most played It's my most played short on my channel, and it's the wonderful Part 4 of Oxygen.
Well, I know that. That's very good.
I could have had about 4 off that album.
Yeah.
Like Oxygen 1 is wonderful as well, 2's good, but 4 always sort of thing, because I think it's the very first thing I heard by Jar, and it just sticks in your mind, doesn't it? And I just still love it today.
No, that's an excellent choice, Ian. I thought that might be your number one, which makes me think, I think I do know what your number one is, but I'm not going to say. But my number one, I'm sure you could guess. If I say there's 2 different versions of this,
Yeah.
One is by Mike Oldfield, which I love, but it's not my favorite. It's Arrival by ABBA. I absolutely love it. It's my all-time favorite ABBA track, which is a shame, really, because it's the one where the girls aren't singing. Okay, they're ahs and oohs and all. But it's absolutely brilliant. Now, words were actually put to that track because in 1983, Frida released a song called Time, which is basically the music of Arrival with new words, and she released it as part of it was a stage show. I think it's called Abra Kababra or something like that there. And then Sarah Brightman also sang it under the title Arrival with new words by Bjorn Ulvaeus. So yeah, there is versions with words, and I love them as well. But the original ABBA one, I absolutely love, and I always picture it in my mind, and I don't think it ever happened. That was the perfect opener for an ABBA concert, because you get your instrumental for 2/3 of it, and then the girls come in with their ahs, and I just picture the lights going on them and everyone going mad, and it has to be.
Yeah, that would be a great opener. Great choice. I love that as well. I like any version of that. It's just a wonderful piece of music, and it just showed how good Benny were.
Yeah. Basically, Benny wrote most of the music, and Bjorn wrote the words. It's a bit like Elton and Bernie, if you see what I mean.
Great piece of music. Right, my number one. It's funny that my top 3 all come from the same year.
I think I do know.
1977. It's a classical piece of music written by Aaron Copland.
Right.
And the video is filmed in a stadium in the snow in Canada.
Is there 3 letters involved?
Yes, 3 letters. Mr. Emerson, Mr. Lake, and Mr. Palmer, and the fanfare for the common man.
Yeah. That's on the Works album, I believe.
Yeah, that's the version I love. The single version edit is okay, but to get the full, and that's the one I'm putting in today. I'm not putting in the single version, so you're not going to get the video. You're going to get
just a black cover,
probably the Works cover and the full. Unless I can find, I can't even put one of the live in, because Keith Emerson usually goes off on one and starts wrecking everything. But I just love the proper, with the fanfare and the trumpets. But I think ELP just took it to another level and and that's where my love of classical music being done by rock bands really, where it all started with that song, and it still remains one of my favorite pieces of music.
Because I think that was 1977, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was the reason why there was a series of albums called Classic Rock that came out around 77, 78, where there was classical versions of rock songs. And I had one as I've actually got one now, the original one on LP. But I had it on tape, and they did versions of Bohemian Rhapsody, Life on Mars, Whiter Shade of Pale, amongst others. And I think that now just hit the air. It's probably because that was such a big hit that they sort of jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, that first one's got a fantastic version of Paint It Black.
Yes, correct. Yes, do you remember that one? That's a white cover.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
got. Well, my dad had them all, and I'm sort of thinking I must get these at some stage.
Honestly, you can get them for peanuts now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm hunting around for them. I don't care if it's on CD or anything. I just want versions of these.
I've got the vinyl one. Okay, well, I have got 6 bubbling unders, and okay, the first one is Henry Mancini Orchestra. Maybe not the coolest one, but I love it. And do you remember back in 1984, there was a TV show called The Thornbirds?
Yes.
Yes, the theme for The Thornbirds. I bought it
Oh,
as a
it's a
single.
lovely bit of music.
Oh, happy days, happy days. I thought you were going to.
No, I love that bit of music.
It's really, really good. I love this sort of almost Irishy bit, and then it goes into the waltzy chorus. Beautiful. Richard Chamberlain and the gorgeous Rachel Ward, of course, starred in The Thornbirds. The next one is the B-side of Happy Hour by the House Martins, and it's called The Mighty Ship. And basically, it starts off a little bass run, and then it goes into the guitars and the harmonica. It's only a minute and a half long, but absolutely brilliant. And it opened. There was a documentary for the House Martins around the late 80s, and I remember it was the opener. I think the opening titles for that documentary, but brilliant. My third one is a track by Blancmange on their debut album Happy Families. And it's called Sad Day. It's very, very
good track.
Very, very simple, catchy little tune done on the synthesizer, but I've always, always loved it. Even from the time I borrowed the LP and taped it on one side for my friend, on the other side was the Thompson Twins. Sad Day was the most played track. My fourth one is ELO, and it's Fire on High, which I think is a really good track as well, opener to the Face the Music album. And a lot of people absolutely adore this. I really like it, but I would have liked words on it, to be quite honest with you, but I still think it's very good. And then we have an Elton John track called Tactics. Now, it was the B-side of a single in 1980 called Dear God, and it sounds as if it could have been on a UK TV theme. It's just really, really catchy, and it would have been brilliant on a comedy theme or any sort of program, but it never got on any compilations, never been released on CD before, but I do have it on a bootleg, but I've still got the single. And then my last one, I have to put it in because I still do like it, is Albatross by Fleetwood Mac. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful track. And John Lennon sort of nicked it for the Sun King on Abbey Road, which I don't mind because Sun King's brilliant as well. So those are my 6 bubbling unders.
Yeah, Albatross is wonderful. I mean, the ELO one, it's that good. I think that's an American sports channel used to use it on one of their programs in the 70s.
Right. I know it's very popular in America.
Yeah, it's because it's a sports program. That's some great choices. Well, mine starts off with a single from 1978, and it's called Take It Off the Top by Dixie Dregs. And you're going, I don't know that. But if you used to listen to Tommy Vance Friday Rock Show,
I don't.
But those of you are thinking it's basically the theme tune that Tommy Vance used.
I probably would know it then.
Because, so people out there that are watching this that are Friday Rock Show fans with Tommy Vance will know what I'm talking about. Okay, my next one. I think I don't know how true that. I think this is one of the very first poppy instrumentals people got to number one in America as well. Joe Meeks and the Tornadoes, Telstar.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant piece of music.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, my next one is from 1960. Quite a lot of sixes here. And it's the Ventures, Walk, Don't Run.
Don't know.
Oh, played it to death in our house.
You see, the Ventures were like, well, I could be wrong here. Were they not like the American version of the Shadows?
Very similar. I mean, that track, living in a house of guitarists, it was always being either played on the thing or sitting down playing it. So I got used to that track. Next one from 1968. Number 5, Love Sculpture, The Sabre Dance. Couldn't leave.
You know what? I love it. I love it. But do you know what? I think I prefer the other one, Farandole, from the next album, Forms and Feelings. I'm not too sure. I love both of them, but Farandole, I always tend to go to more. But still, great choice.
Okay, and my next one goes back to 1958, and a little snippet appeared on that terrible anniversary waltz that Quo did, and it's Johnny and the Hurricanes and Red River Rock. I absolutely love that. Obviously, it was in my dad's single collection, and I used to keep putting it on my little record player back in the day. I just love that quirky keyboard. And another one from my dad's collection from 1961, Sandy Nelson's Let There Be Drums.
Right. I would probably have to hear it.
Yeah, and Don Powell and his band have done a version of it as a video on YouTube.
Was that a follow-up to Dance with the Devil? Or was it later on?
That's Cozy Powell, but this is...
Oh, sorry, Don Powell. All right, okay.
Yes, and so Don Powell has done a version of this recently, and he's got some great drummers doing some of the drums as well. So just put in Let There Be Drums, Don Powell, and you'll see this great video. I just loved Sandy Nelson. I thought he was a terrific drummer, and my dad was really into Sandy Nelson. So there we go. That's my little...
Very good. Quite a spectrum of years, like 1958 to 84, I think is the latest one.
Yeah, that's so many bubbling unders. I shall only put the top 10 in, folks, but you can go and find... I might Take It to the Top, because people will go, oh yeah, I might just put that one in, because and it'll jog your memory as well, Richard.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, thanks as usual. Fantastic stuff. What have we got for you in a fortnight's time? Well, remember we did our favourite cover songs by our favourite artists. We've decided we'll go the other way and go, my God, why did you do that? That's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
I think so as well.
Anyway, all I want to say is thank you very much, Richard. We love doing these for you, and we know you like watching them. So it's goodbye for me.
That's goodbye from him.
Hey, got it right. See you all soon, folks. Bye for now.